The 1950s were a golden age for cars. Chrome, fins, and bold design everywhere you looked. It was the decade of freedom, optimism, and some of the most iconic machines ever made, like the Chevrolet Bel Air and Mercedes 300 SL. But not every car from the 50s was a success story. Behind the shiny exteriors were plenty of flops, rushed designs, bad engineering, and ideas that just didn't work. Today, we're looking at the other side of the decade. The top 10 worst cars of the 1950s, the ones history tried to forget. Number 10. 1957 Nash Metropolitan. The Nash Metropolitan was one of the first attempts to bring a true economy car to America. Built in England by Austin for the Nash Motor Company, it was a tiny two-door coupe or convertible aimed at city drivers. Under the hood sat an 84 cubic inch inline-4 engine producing a mere 52 horsepower. It could reach 60 miles per hour, eventually, and the 3-speed manual didn't make things easier. Measuring only 149 inches long and weighing about 1,800 pounds, the Metropolitan was dwarfed by the massive sedans Americans were used to. While it was charming to look at, the build quality was questionable. The British electrics were unreliable, the carburetors prone to flooding, and rust appeared quickly in humid climates. Owners complained about sluggish acceleration and poor stability at highway speeds. The idea was ahead of its time, but the execution left much to be desired. Number 9. 1956 Packard Clipper. By the mid-1950s, Packard, once a symbol of luxury and prestige, was struggling to stay relevant. The Clipper was meant to modernize the brand, but instead it marked the beginning of the end. The car rode on a 122-inch wheelbase and offered a 320 cubic inch V8, producing 225 horsepower. On paper, not bad. But in reality, the Clipper was plagued by poor assembly, inconsistent quality control, and electrical issues. Rust protection was minimal, and the styling was already dated by the time it reached dealerships. Compared to sleek Cadillacs and Lincolns, the Clipper looked bulky, and uninspired transmission problems and failing torsion-level suspension systems further destroyed its reputation. Packard hoped this model would save the company, but instead, it became a symbol of decline. By 1958, Packard was gone. Number 8. 1958 Edsel Corsair. Few names in automotive history are as infamous as the Edsel. Ford invested over $250 million in the brand, expecting it to dominate the mid-priced car market. The 1958 Edsel Corsair was supposed to lead that charge. It came with an advanced Teletouch push-button transmission system mounted in the center of the steering wheel. Futuristic, but unreliable. The buttons jammed, malfunctioned, and confused drivers. Styling was another disaster. The oval horse collar grille quickly became a running joke, and the heavy-handed chrome only made things worse. The Corsair's 410 cubic inch V8 produced an impressive 345 horsepower. But the car's weight and sloppy handling made it unpleasant to drive. Sales were catastrophic, and within 2 years, the Edsel brand was dead. Number 7. 1951 Kaiser Henry J. The Kaiser Henry J was meant to be America's affordable family car in the post-war years. Built by Kaiser Frazer, it was designed to be simple, light, and inexpensive. Under the hood sat a 134 cubic inch inline-4 engine producing just 68 horsepower with an optional 161 cubic inch 6-cylinder that barely improved performance. But in order to keep the price low, Kaiser stripped the car of nearly every feature. No trunk lid, no armrests, and no glove box on base models. The result felt cheap and unfinished. The ride was noisy, the interior Spartan, and the styling awkwardly narrow and top-heavy. Despite a low entry price, buyers stayed away, preferring to spend a little more for a real car. By 1954, production stopped completely. Number 6. 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. The 1959 Cadillac Eldorado is often remembered for its stunning fins, the tallest ever fitted to a production car. It symbolized excess, luxury, and flamboyance. But underneath all that glamour, it was a maintenance nightmare. Powered by a 390 cubic inch V8, producing 345 horsepower, the Eldorado could cruise smoothly. When it worked, the complex air suspension leaked constantly. The power accessories failed regularly, and the sheer size made it nearly impossible to park weighing over 5,000 pounds. It guzzled fuel and handled like a barge. Owners loved the look, but hated the upkeep. The 1959 Biarritz remains one of the most iconic and impractical cars ever built. Number 5. 1958 Plymouth Plaza. The Plymouth Plaza was the cheapest model in Plymouth's lineup, meant to appeal to budget-conscious buyers. Unfortunately, it showed. Powered by a 230 cubic inch flathead inline-six, producing 132 horsepower, it struggled to move its 3,300 pound body. The ride was harsh, steering vague, and the 3-speed manual gearbox clunky. Interior materials were bare bones, vinyl seats that cracked, thin door panels, and minimal insulation. Rust was another major issue. Poor quality steel and thin paint meant that in colder climates, the Plaza could start rusting within a year or two. While affordable, it was the definition of, you get what you pay for. Number 4. 1950 Crosley Hot Shot. Marketed as America's first affordable sports car, the Crosley Hot Shot was light, nimble, and hopelessly underpowered. It featured a 44 cubic inch, 724 cubic centimeter, inline-4 engine producing just 26.5 horsepower. With a curb weight of only 1,100 pounds, it could barely hit 60 miles per hour. The unique sheet metal engine block, made of brazed copper and steel, was prone to cracking, warping, and leaking oil. Handling was twitchy, the brakes weak, and the build quality minimal. While it found some success in amateur racing, most owners found it unreliable and uncomfortable. Crosley folded in 1952, bringing an end to one of America's strangest car experiments. Number 3. 1958 Ford Thunderbird, aka Squarebird. The original 1955 to 1957 Thunderbird was beloved for its sporty two-seat design, but in 1958, Ford completely reimagined it into a heavy 4-seater luxury coupe, and fans weren't happy. The new Thunderbird weighed nearly 3,900 pounds and featured soft suspension, tuned for comfort rather than performance. Though the 352 cubic inch V8 produced 300 horsepower, it felt sluggish. The redesign abandoned the car's sporty roots and alienated the very buyers who made it a success. While sales remained strong thanks to its looks, the 1958 Squarebird marked the end of the Thunderbird sports car era and the beginning of its transformation into a personal luxury cruiser. Number 2. 1958 Chevrolet Impala. The 1958 Impala marked Chevrolet's attempt to blend luxury and sportiness. Introduced as the top trim of the Bel Air, it featured a bold design with quad headlights and a sweeping roofline. Under the hood was a 348 cubic inch V8, producing up to 315 horsepower, but all that power was wasted. The car's weight and soft suspension made it float like a boat. Chevy also introduced a new, level air suspension system, which frequently leaked and failed. The interior creaked and rattled after only a few months of ownership, and fuel economy was atrocious. Though the Impala would later become one of Chevrolet's greatest success stories, the 1958 debut was anything but refined. Number 1. 1957 Trabant P50. For the number 1 spot, we're crossing the Iron Curtain to East Germany, home of the Trabant P50. Built by VEB Sachsenring, this small car featured a 500 cubic centimeter 2-stroke twin-cylinder engine producing just 18 horsepower. The body panels were made of Duraplast, a plastic composite made from cotton waste and resin. On paper, it was simple and efficient. In reality, it was slow, smoky, and outdated the moment it launched. The car lacked a fuel gauge, required oil to be mixed directly into the fuel tank, and had virtually no sound insulation. Top speed? Around 60 miles per hour. If you were lucky, the interior was cramped, ventilation non-existent, and reliability laughable. Despite all of this, production continued with minimal changes for decades. The Trabant wasn't just a bad car, it was a moving symbol of an entire era's failure to innovate.